All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and get started. So, welcome to InsuredMine training. That's not our schedule. We're going forward. So this is our virtual training. This is our fourth virtual training, I believe, with all TWFG agents. So in this time, we're going to show you what InsuredMine is and how you can use it to increase your sales and just manage your daily workflows.
Hi, this is Roshan, CEO and co-founder of InsuredMine. First of all, I want to welcome you.
You guys can hear that, right?
Yes, we can hear.
You can hear it? Okay.
Yes.
Hi, this is Roshan, CEO and co-founder of InsuredMine. First of all, I want to welcome you to InsuredMine family. Thanks for making this wonderful decision of incorporating InsuredMine to your business. It means a lot because now every day that what we do, we work with you together to build a customer journey towards your agency growth. We start focusing from lead capture to lead nurture to sales funnel to onboarding to retention. All of these elements of customer journey will be hyper focused to help you understand your customer better, so you can focus on where the opportunities of cross-sell and upsell is. You can understand your business data way better. You are able to engage with your customer, build that customer experience. And in all of these, we will be working with you hand in hand. Now, we all work together for one common goal, which is to help your agency succeed. We are all on this together. With that, I welcome you to InsuredMine family. Thanks for joining.
Perfect. So that's our little intro. So what InsuredMine is a customer relationship management system. So it is different than Evo. Evo is your policy management system. Evo talks with your carrier sites. You get your items downloads from there, and all policy management will happen inside of Evo. But what Evo, the gap between Evo is it doesn't help you build relationships with your customers. It doesn't help you organize and keep track of where customers are in your sales process. So InsuredMine will help you build that relationship by creating automations for marketing or creating automations through your sales process. Most deals are lost in the sales cycle in the quote sent stage. So you have a customer that calls in, they say they want a policy, you give them 3 different quote options, and then they say, oh, I need to think about it. A person can only manage so many of those because you have to manually remember where that customer is. You have to remember to send the follow-up email, send the follow-up text messages, whatever it is in order to chase that customer. So you spend a lot of time in that process. So what InsuredMine will do is it'll do the chasing for you. So then you can manage more leads. So what we'll talk about today is how can you use InsuredMine to manage your processes, and how can you increase the communication and kind of the highway back and forth between Evo, your customer, and you as an agency or branch owner. So to introduce all of us, the people at InsuredMine behind the scenes. So in the video, you just saw Rajan. Rajan is the CEO, and Sneha, they are the co-founders of InsuredMine. We have Tucker Hood, who's the director of sales. Tucker and Rajan are kind of the spearheads for building the partnership between TWFG and InsuredMine. You have Shubham Jeswal, who is the VP of technology. He is the gate to any architecture that we have. You have Paula Keith. Paula is in customer success and also a little bit in support. She is our solutions manager. So anytime, and she has a history of being in commercial lines, insurance, and dabbled in some personal lines. So if you have any insurance question or any, you just want a thought partner in how can you increase sales or just manage your branch, she is the go-to for that. You have myself, I'm the training manager at InsuredMine. You have Momzeret, who's also on the call with us. Momzeret is the customer success manager. She works alongside Victoria. So Victoria is going to be you all's go-to for training. If you want one-on-one training, which you guys will get access to, we'll talk about that in a second. So Victoria, Montserrat, those are your first go-tos for anything that you need inside of InsuredMine, and they will be the liaison between the rest of the team. You have Sam, who works in the sales team. InsuredMine is free for all of you. TWFG has purchased it for you, so you do not need to pay for anything. So don't worry about Sam or Shivam or any of that. Last two are Rohan and Shubham Mishra. They are chat support. So anytime you chat us inside of the platform, you're talking to those two people. Shivam also helps out in chat support sometimes. So those are common names that you'll see around InsuredMine. And I think that's it of all the people. All right, the goal for today. So the first half of our session today, we're going to talk about setup, how to get started with InsuredMine. We'll talk about Evo integration, so how the systems communicate back and forth, how to navigate InsuredMine. Then we'll jump into the sales pipeline. How do you set up your sales process? Work deal cards. We'll take a quick 15-minute break in between. We'll talk about reports. Part of the sales process, we're going to talk with Damon Cook. So Damon Cook is the renewal star of InsuredMine. He is a branch owner. He's located in Oklahoma, I believe, right, Damon? Is that right? Oh, we can't hear you, Damon. So we'll look at how he used InsuredMine before we even partnered with TWFG. So he kind of built his own process in InsuredMine, and by using InsuredMine, he ended up saving 3 hours of time on his renewal process. So he will talk us through what he set up. So that's the schedule for today. In January, we're not going to hit on any marketing pieces today, but in January, we'll have an entire session just for marketing. All right, the resources you have available for the day. So we have an online certification course that was built specifically for you all. That certification course is your first step in order to get access to one-on-one training. So you have to complete that before you get one-on-one training. We'll drop the link in the chat for you all to access that course. And then we also have a TWFG training manual. So that training manual will go through the Evo integration, and it'll give you QR codes that you can access to, different resources that we have. So whether it's our ebooks, whether it's our certification course, to book a training session, all of that will be found inside of the training guide. So we'll drop the links. Montserrat's dropping them right now. So the first one she dropped is the training course online. Once you complete that training course, you can add InsuredMine System Administrator to your LinkedIn page. So it's a certificate that you can add. All right. Moving along. Rules of engagement, just time management. We'll take some breaks in between. If you guys have any questions, just drop them in the chat. I answer them as we go. InsuredMine is a very robust platform. It can do a lot of things. It has a lot of bells and whistles, but we like to chunk learning. So we're only going to focus on the two big features of InsuredMine. So just have a growth mindset throughout the entire process, just understanding that you're learning a new system, and it just takes a little bit of time to learn it. Digital etiquette, I understand work is still going on at the same time. You guys are all muted, and but you have the ability to chat us. So if you need to, work on the side a little bit, or you need to take a call, feel free to do that. Just drop your questions in the chat. And last is participate. You're going to get what you give. So ask all the questions.
Kara?
Yes.
Okay, you can hear me now. Okay, good.
I can hear you. Yeah. So here's Damon, everybody.
I'm in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Oh, yes. Perfect. All right. Are we all ready to get started? Yeah. Okay. All right. To sign in. So inside of Evo, you're going to start seeing this InsuredMine button. So this is the single sign-on button that will launch InsuredMine. InsuredMine is a website, so you don't need to download anything on your computer. It's not an app. Hang on. My dog is going crazy. One second. There we go. The website to log in is twfg.insuredmine.com/agent. So you can click that or go to that website and it'll bring you to the same page as clicking this single sign-on button. Your username is going to be your TWFG email. And then your password is Montserrat will send that to you. Again, the reason we have to send you individual passwords is because it's a password reset link. And also we want to keep track of who has requested access to the portal. That helps us integrate and have a list of who should get integration with Evo to send data back and forth. All right, I'm going to go ahead and switch screens. All right, so when you go to that twfg.insuredmine.com/agent, this is the screen you're going to see. You can click sign in, or you can do the continuous single sign on. Both options work. Once you sign in, the first screen you're going to see the first few times you sign in is going to be this get started page. This is your profile setup, okay? If you sign into your account and you do not see this get started screen, to access the get started screen, you're going to click your profile picture in the far right and then select get started, and it'll bring you here. The goal is to have green check marks all the way down. Okay. You're just going to follow the steps. So you'll complete your profile. You'll click save and continue. You'll connect your work email. Once you've connected, any integration with InsuredMine, you're going to see a green stamp on top of it, meaning that this has already been completed. And you're just going to continue the process to set up your account. Step 3 is setting up a scheduler. So the scheduler is similar to Calendly. You can send this link to customers and they can book meetings with you on your calendar based upon your availability. A common question we get is, can it read 2 calendars, like your personal calendar and then also your work calendar? No, it cannot. Whatever email you are connecting is the calendar it will use. So if you want your personal events to show up on here, you'll have to invite. The workaround is on your personal calendar link or calendar event, you're going to have to include your work, and you can just mark it as private. So then it only shows busy. While you're completing these steps, if you have any questions on how to complete it, on the far right, there's going to be a video and a knowledge-based article. So you can watch how to complete it or you can read how to complete it. Step 4 should already be done for you, so don't worry about that one. And then calling and texting. This is a common question that we get multiple times. TWFG has given all of you a Twilio phone system. We are working on setting that up. But again, we first need to connect your Evo, then we worry about the phone integration. But we work with different partners for phone systems. The only phone systems that we work with is Twilio, Ring Central, and Lightspeed. So if you do not have any one of those 3 providers, we cannot connect your phone. So your business phone that you're currently using, we cannot connect. You do get a Twilio phone system. That is what TWFG has given all of you. And if you have your own phone systems with Ring Central or Lightspeed, we can connect those. Once you finish that get started page, we do have more integrations that you can look through. So to get there, you'll click your profile picture and you'll select settings. On the settings page, the first tab is integrations. Here you can see all the phone systems we integrate with. Down here, these are thanks.io is a postcard send out. So you can automatically send postcards out to customers once they say, yes, I'd like a policy. And you can say, send a thank you postcard. Or for birthdays, you can automate sending birthday postcards to your customers. Zapier is kind of like a liaison platform. Any lead management system that you're currently using, or if you want to push leads into InsuredMine, Zapier is how we connect those platforms to InsuredMine. Next, we have Slide Broadcast. Slide Broadcast is what Damon uses all the time, and it is my favorite as well. It's voicemail dropping. So you can automate dropping voicemails on your customer's phone in your renewal process saying, hey, your premium has increased. Give me a call. Let's discuss. That can be automated just by moving a deal card. And then down here, we have Google My Business. You can automate getting Google reviews. So once a customer says yes, you mark a deal card 1. 3 days later, they get a link automatically requesting a Google review. So these are all of the different ways you can automate within our system and connect integrations. Okay, I see a few questions. Can we change the password you've given? Yes. So to change your password, you're going to click your profile picture in the far right. And then you're going to select your profile picture again on the inside. It's going to bring up your profile settings. Up at the top, the second tab is where you can change your password. How do we get our individual password? So Montserrat is, whilst we're on our training call, she is going to send you your individual password reset to your email. Just drop your email in the chat and she'll send it to you. And then once you get that password, you can always change it. Who is the best contact at TW? James. So we're already working with Catherine and Mark at the main office to get the phone systems to you all. We're first going to focus on the Evo syncing, pushing your data into InsuredMine. And then once we do that, they'll get the phones connected.
Okay, yeah, let me jump here. For all the ones that they need Twilio and they do not have any integration with Ring Central or Lightspeed, please send a message in support chat asking for your Twilio number. And then support team is going to release the number for you. One thing that all of you need to know is that with Twilio, you can have callings and text message. And text message, you have some capabilities and a limitation to send the text message.
Yes. So what she's saying is, just to reiterate what she's saying. So here's the chat feature. So you'll click the chat, you'll tell them you're with TWFG and you want to connect your Twilio phone. Again, the Twilio, here's the answer to Damon's question. It is free. There is no additional cost with using this Twilio phone system. So you'll message them, you'll ask them to connect that phone system for you. The limitations that she's referring to, so each user license, so each individual agent that you have at your branch gets 1,000 text messages a month. Okay, 1,000 texts. So if you have 5 users in your account, 5 agents in your branch, that means you get 5,000 text messages as a branch. Let's see. Where's the password reset? Brad, so Montserrat is sending you your first password. And then once you sign in, you can change your password by clicking your profile picture in the far right and then select it again. And here you can change your password. Yes. Lori, when you sign into your account inside of InsuredMine, you'll message chat support and tell them that you want the phone system. Roger, yes, you can purchase more text messages if you'd like. I think the package is $10 for every additional 1,000 text messages. But you don't have to pay. That's only if you want more. The base package that's given to all of you is 1,000 text messages a month. If you want more text messages, you can buy $10 per 1,000. Okay, I think that's all the questions that we have so far. Okay, navigation inside of InsuredMine. So after you sign in a few times, the first screen you're going to see is going to be the agency dashboard. The dashboard is broken up into 4 different categories, so you can view different widgets that you have within each dashboard. We'll talk about that more once we get to the reporting section, but this is the screen that you're going to see. The dashboard is all of your Evo data. So it's pulling information directly from Evo. This is a good way to see whether your sync has been updated. So you can see all of your active accounts, how much money in premium you're pulling in, all that information. On the far left, we have all of our main modules. You can hover over the icon and it'll show you the name of the module, or you can click this arrow up at the top and it'll open up the main menu. Up at the top here, we have global search. Global search is going to search all of your book of business. You can search by policy number, by contacts, or by accounts. The search searches 3 letters at a time. So best practice is to type 3, give it a second, and then continue typing. Any contact that you have will pop up down below. There's different views of InsuredMine. The views is based upon your role within your agency. So if you are a branch owner, you will have admin access. Admin access is kind of like the master account. It's going to unlock all the settings in the platform. If you are setting it up, if you're an individual person, you're the sole owner of a branch, then you will always want to navigate an admin view. If you are managing agents, you're assigned a manager role. And then there's individual agent role. So the agent is, you're only going to see your book of business. As an admin, you can see everything that's happening. If you switch to agent view, it's just what you as an agent are performing. Okay. We have the add from any screen button. So this is where you can send a text message or send an email on the fly. And then of course your profile. So you click your profile picture, you click it again. This is how you can edit and change your password. This is also where you can access the settings page to look at the integrations. This is also where you can change the color of the platform. So if you don't want it to be orange, you can switch that. And then this is also where you can log out. Resources found throughout the entire platform. So if you ever need help, there's this little help tab on the side that moves around. You can click that help tab and all of the knowledge base articles associated with that module you are in will open up. So if I go to pipeline and I click the help tab, all the pipeline articles will open. You have our chat support. You're chatting real people. So Shubham, Rohan, or Shivam sometimes. Chat wait time is typically under 5 minutes. You can always just chat them and say, I need to talk to Montserrat, or I need to talk to Victoria, and they can connect you with us then. And then last, we have this orange question mark here. This is where you can send in support tickets. So if you're ever looking at your data and you say, this doesn't look right, send a support ticket in. Anytime you see a glitch or anytime you run into an issue, take screenshots. Our tech team is in India. And so as much as we try to explain something, a picture says a lot more. So take a picture, explain a little bit of what's going on so they can look into it. You also can access our training hub. The training hub is where you can find the certification course, TWFG. You'll click the course and then you'll select enroll in certification. You must complete the certification before you get access to one-on-one training. So if you book a one-on-one training session, we do look to see whether you have completed the course first. Okay. Any questions so far for me? Does the email sent out, receive, route through Outlook, or so if you send an email through InsuredMine, you're connecting your email system. So if you send it through InsuredMine, it's going to show up in Outlook and vice versa. I hope that answered your question, Jody. So the data hasn't been connected with Evo just yet. We're doing it about 10 to 20 branches at a time. So it'll display your data soon. If you text someone and they text back, how many does that count for? It's only how many you send out. For Twilio can separate information regarding Twilio. And Jeanette, I'm not sure I understand your question. Where's the cert course again? No worries. Let me send it in the chat. There's the certification course. Once you complete your certification course, you can post it on your LinkedIn. I'll show you guys what it can look like. I'm just going to pull up my page. So down at the bottom, you'll have a license certificate and it'll say InsuredMine System Administrator. So once you complete that certification course, you get to the completion page. It'll say post to social media, and then it'll take you directly to the screen to add in. It'll take you to this screen here to where you can type in the information for your certification. Okay. So I'm going to flip back to our presentation. Can we send more information regarding Twilio? Yes, let me, in our break time, I can get like a knowledge base article and send it to you. Okay, so just to review, ways to get started. So you first get your reset password from Montserrat. Once you sign into the system, you're going to complete your get started page. Okay. If you sign in and you don't see that get started page, you can click your profile picture and then select get started. The next step is to complete your certification course. So get your password, complete get started, complete the certification course. Once you've done those things, then you get access to one-on-one training. Here's the get started screen. While you're navigating the get started page, if you need help, on the far right, there's a video and a knowledge base article to read it. You have our chat support. You can message us if you need more help. And there's also the help tab. All right, let's talk about Evo integration. So there's an immediate sync between InsuredMine and Evo. It typically takes about 1 minute just to send information through the servers, but it's pretty immediately. By the time you go into Evo, you'll see it. Data is already uploaded. We just have to connect it. So we just need to keep a record of who is signing in and using InsuredMine. So that's how we kind of gatekeep through that. So we're doing it in batches 20 at a time. This is the information that goes back and forth. So from Evo into InsuredMine, all of your contacts and policy data will be uploaded into the system. And what goes from InsuredMine into Evo are all of the activities that you have with your customer, all the interactions. So whether you add a note to the account, whether you add a task, a file, emails, text messages, phone calls. So if you have your phone system turned on, it'll record the phone call and then it will document inside of Evo that call. Activities or calendar events. So if you book a meeting with them, it'll send that to Evo, it'll document it. If you edit a contact, so let's say you have someone and they get married and you need to add a contact to their account, you can create that contact inside of InsuredMine and it'll send that contact into Evo under that account. And policy data. So if you have, let's say a carrier, or there's policies that don't automatically download from the carrier and you need to manually add a policy into the system, you can do it inside of InsuredMine. I know the other day we talked about how TWFG requires you all to put the shell of a policy into Evo before the policy downloads. You still will go to Evo for policy management. So still follow that process that you're currently doing. We always encourage policy management stays in Evo. So I personally would not edit a policy inside of InsuredMine. You can if it's like a manual plugin, like you're manually adding policies already. Okay. So this is what goes back and forth. Contact information, you can edit back and forth. Policy data, I don't suggest it, but you can edit back and forth. And then any interaction you have with your customer from InsuredMine into Evo. So when you sign into InsuredMine and you pull up a contact right now, if you have existing files inside of Evo, those will not appear inside of InsuredMine. Files do not come down from Evo to InsuredMine. They can only go up. Okay, so if you attach something inside of InsuredMine, it'll go up into Evo. Any questions on the integrations? Will there be a message from InsuredMine informing the customer that all calls are being recorded? So that is a Twilio capability. I would have to double check that it automatically tells them when you do the call, but if not, you can always just say it on the call. So there's a button that tells you to record. So you manually push record. Let's see. Roger, don't configure your texting and calling. Unless you're using it. Yeah, don't configure your texting or calling. Message chat support and they can do it for you. Appendra, iRing Central. I need a number with my area code. So Appendra, you have an account with Ring Central already. If you do, you'll just go to, let me switch screens. If you have an account with Ring Central already, you can go to the integrations page, which is under settings. So you'll click settings here. And then under Ring Central, you'll click connect, and then you'll just sign into your Ring Central account. When receiving a text through Lightspeed, the text message will show in InsuredMine. Yes, it will. All Lightspeed text messages will show as a note inside of InsuredMine. And then it'll document inside of Evo. All right, let me make sure I've answered all the questions. Yes. Where were we? We're on the presentation. Okay, I think we're good here. The difference between a CRM, so InsuredMine is a CRM, it's customer relationship management. This is how you communicate and build the relationship with your customers. How do you send them, monthly newsletters? How are you upselling and cross-selling? Evo does not do that. Evo just manages policies. So that's how they connect back and forth. Ways to get started: get your password, complete the certification course, complete the get started. Okay. We've done Evo integration. All right, so now we're going to jump into sales pipeline. Before we get started, we're going to show you a testimonial video from Daily Insurance and how they have used sales pipeline and the benefits of having a sales pipeline.
Daily Insurance Group is an independent agency. We are located right outside of Ocean City, Maryland. We've been in business since 1929. We are about 70% commercial lines, 30% personal lines. There are 60 people on our team of forward-thinking folks that are constantly looking to get better. We're about $55 million in premium, and we are amazing. So I have been on a search for the last 20 years to find a software system that really allows me to have a user experience that's consistent across our sales team, our leadership, and our service team. One place where we can all go.
So we like InsuredMine because what it is it's an attractive system that appeals to the users that we're all trying to hire right now. So it's also important for us to use this system to look at our carrier relationships and figure out how we maximize our revenue to add to the importance of our contingencies in those relationships.
The support team at InsuredMine has been incredibly receptive to any ideas that we give them. It's nice to know that your voice is heard and that they want their system to be the best it can be for not only Daily, but other agencies as well.
Traditional agency management systems are very good at managing policies. What InsuredMine enables us to do is to layer on top of that something that allows us to manage the customer experience. And that's what we've been looking for. It's definitely worth the investment. Not only do you get a software partner that can help you get insights into what you're doing, but also someone that can help you keep running as fast as you want to run.
Initially, when InsuredMine was purchased, it was purchased as a sales CRM tool, and we quickly learned that we could manage our renewal process in the system as well. The checklist functionality gives us the ability to provide almost like a bumper when you're bowling. So for new employees, they have that step-by-step help within the deal card as they work through the process. Prior to InsuredMine, we lived in a world of Excel spreadsheets. We now have a system where we can go and get the data we need in a couple of clicks.
One of the things that's so spectacular about InsuredMine is it's actually a real-time product that you can communicate with your sales team and your service team through a deal card, and it's all contained in one space so that anyone at any point in time can go into that deal card and look and see what's happening, both on a lead that's progressing to an opportunity as well as a renewal that's just starting out 120 days out, all the way until when you're delivering the proposal and binding the product.
One of the things that's most exciting about working with InsuredMine is how responsive they are, and almost any amazing idea that our operations team has to make the system better, they figure out a way to get it done.
Here we go. Okay. So, like they had said, using InsuredMine is kind of like a bumper car, like bumpers when you're bowling. It helps you create consistency in your processes. And the more consistency you have, the better data you can collect. And the more data you can collect, the more you can see the gaps within your workflows and see how you can produce or create a more efficient process. You can see where are all of your leads coming from, which particular state. In this particular state, what line of business do most customers get? In this particular county, what line of business do most people get? All of that data can be collected inside of a deal card, and you can pull reports upon that. The next piece that they mentioned is communication between agents and team members within deals. So when you have your renewal process, you could have two people on a renewal team, and they need to both communicate back and forth what's happening with deals. You could have a commercial new business pipeline. And let's say someone goes on maternity leave and you need them to pick up the deals that they left off at. Because you have a pipeline, there's full visibility of what's going on, and you can give access to that agent. So I can assign all these deal cards to this other person without losing anything. So we'll go into depth on how to create pipelines, but this is what they kind of look like. I'll go macro and then I'll zoom in a little bit. So here you have pipelines. You can create as many pipelines as you'd like. So right now we're going to look at Gordy's branch and the pipelines that have been built in their account. All of you will get default pipelines with automations pre-built in. So I'll show you how to edit those automations. And you can also work with your training manager, whoever is your training person, to build and customize the pipelines based upon the workflows that you currently have that already exist. And then in the pipelines, you have stages. So a stage represents a segment in the process. So, and in each segment, you have actions that are occurring. So when you have a customer in the proposed stage, you have actions of the agent needs to call the customer to present the quote. They need to send a follow-up email an hour later. And then 3 days later, they need to call the customer again. Okay. All of those actions you can automate in the system. Okay. What are automations? Automations are preset actions that are occurring in each stage of your sales process. So here's an example of what it can look like. As soon as you take a deal card and you move it to the prospect qualification stage, you can have a text message and an email sent out immediately saying, thanks for contacting us. Then from there, a day later, you have another email going out and a task for the agent to call the customer. So instead of having to remember where you are, where that customer is in your process, the system will remind you or it will do it for you. The goal is, though, to move the deal cards through each process. So if you take the deal card and you move it to the submission quoting stage, these automations you'll turn off and then they'll go to the next portion. So you can stack automations all the way up for 2 weeks. So the system will communicate with your customer 2 weeks out. If you want to stop that communication because they've now moved to the next stage in the process, you can do that. So that's a macro view. Okay. all the different automation options that you can have in the system. You can have emails and text messages. Those are going out to the customers. And then the rest are internal processes. So they talked about doing checklists. So let's say you move a deal card to the issue policy stage, and you have a checklist that of all the documents that you need to get and attach inside of Evo. So you can take that checklist, check off the items, attach all the files that you need inside of InsuredMine, and it'll transfer all of those files up to Evo. You can automatically assign deal cards to someone. So let's say you have one person in your office that does all of the quoting. As soon as you take the deal card and you move it to a stage called quote, ready to quote, that agent gets a notification that they need to quote this customer. You can have tasks. So, calls, texts, emails. Instead of automating sending the email, you can assign a task to send an email. All automations that you build out can be customized. So on this far right over here that you see, we have tags. Tags pull data points specific to a customer. So you can draft an email that says, hi, first name, and it'll pull the first name of the contact on the deal card. So I'll show you on the screen before in the email that we had. So here it says, hi, contact first name. So it'll drop in, hi, Kiara. So it's personalized. And then you have agent signature. So it's automatically going to dump the agent that's assigned that deal card, their email signature. Some more quote tag options that we have are quotes. So you can say, I wanted to follow up regarding the quote with, and you'll use the tag carrier quote, and it'll attach with Progressive. And then if you plug in the premium amount, it'll plug in your quote with Progressive for an auto policy, the premium amount of $300. So all of that can be automated through the system. Yes, Jody, there can be automations for all of the above. Okay. So here's what it looks like inside the system. So you'll go to pipeline, and then here you have all your different pipelines that you've built. You can select each pipeline. To create your own, you'll select create new, or you can edit the existing ones. No matter which button you push, whether you create new or you edit, it's going to bring you to the exact same screen. Okay. There's 5 steps to complete a pipeline. Any change that you make, you have to follow all 5 steps. So you have to go from beginning to end. So here you're going to give your pipeline a title. Disable means, can it be used? Board, so you can have a shared board or you can have a private board. So let's say you have new business, you want it to be private, meaning you can only see the deal card if you are assigned that deal card. A shared board is transparency. So no matter who is assigned that deal card, everyone can see all deals. Most people will set their new business as private, but they'll set their renewal or service board as shared, because there's teams that manage it. Account management, they all need to see everything. Or if you have producers that are very competitive, you might want to make it private. You'll do update and continue. Here, this is where you create your stages. A stage is where a customer is in your process. And in each stage, you have actions that are occurring. So a stage name shouldn't be email sent. That is an action that occurs in what stage in your process. So you'll plug in your stages. You can move the stages around. So if at any point you want to move it, you can do so. You have days inactive. So if a deal card is sitting in the proposed stage or we'll do application stage. If it's sitting in the application stage for more than 3 days, the deal card will highlight a color. That means the customer is stale in that stage and you should follow up with them. You'll do update and continue. The only thing I want to point out on this page is the final action. You can have a final action of marking a deal card won and lost, or you can have a final action of closing a card. For new business, it makes sense to mark the deal card won and lost because you're actually winning more money. But for a renewal or a service, you're not necessarily winning or losing anything. So you might just want to close out those cards. You can only have one or the other. So when I toggle one on, the other one turns off. And you'll do update and continue. You can add in any custom field. So if you are selling life and health insurance as well, and there's certain information you want to collect, like weight, you can add a custom field into the deal card. So when you're creating it, you can plug that data in. This is cool. So there's a task due in the next 5 minutes. So the system just alerted me that I have a task due in 5 minutes that I need to complete. So if I click right here, it'll take me to that task. You'll do update and continue. Here is pipeline access. So who can see the pipeline? You might only want commercial agents to see the commercial pipeline and personal agents to see the personal pipeline. So you can toggle on and off who can see what. And then you'll click create or update, depending if you created from scratch or whether you're editing a pipeline. Roger, to get to the update pipeline, I clicked the down arrow and then you'll click the pencil. Okay. On the pipeline, you have deal cards. So here you're looking at some deal cards. Deal cards are business deals you are currently trying to work with a customer. The deal card will move from one stage to the other. And then each one of those stages, again, you have automations. So if I take this deal card and I move it to submission quoting, it'll trigger automations in that stage. Let me turn some on so you can see what it looks like. We have some in lead. So if I take this card, it moves to the lead stage. Here, the automation screen pops up. You have the ability to disable all, so I don't want any automations going, or you can toggle individual ones. So if a customer says, yes, I'm interested, but I'm going to be out of town for a week, you can turn off those for the week and then send the rest. So what we always encourage is pre-build your process and then turn things off if you don't want that customer to receive them. So if there is an email you are always sending out when a customer gets to the quote ready stage, automate that email. It'll save you time. If you like to personalize the first email that you send instead of saying a generic, welcome to our agency email, you can create a template. And then from inside of the deal card, you'll click email. And then you're able to select the templates that you create for yourself. And then you can type in any information to customize it. You can attach documents and then click send. Anything that happens with the customer inside of the deal card is all documented in a timeline. So it shows you in chronological order what's happening with that deal. Okay. Any note that you take about the deal can be documented inside. You can also @ other agents, so you can mention someone. If you mention them, they get an email alert saying you've been mentioned inside of a deal card. I'm going to click save here. Okay. We'll talk about how to create a deal card, but I just want to go over the different features of the deal card. Up at the top, so you can drag the deal card or you can click the arrows up at the top. On this left panel, this is where you have your quote information. So next to premium, I'm going to click here to edit. And here I have a personal auto. You can plug in the premium amount. You can have multiple lines of business inside of the deal card. So maybe they want home and auto. So you can have both inside one. If you select more options, this is where you can select the carriers. You do not have to manually enter in the carriers. Once your Evo data has fully been synced, it's automatically going to pull your carriers and your line of business that you are currently writing. So now when I look at my deal card from the outside, it's going to show me how much money in premium this deal is worth. Okay. All right, to create a deal card, you'll select add deal. You'll start typing in the contact's name. If the customer exists already, so let's say you want to create a upsell or cross-sell deal. So a customer that is existing calls you and they say, I'm interested in a homeowner's policy. You can just find the customer that's existing and you can just click their name and it'll pre-fill in all the information. You can also select any policy that they currently have with you. If they're brand new, you'll start typing in the contact's name and you'll click create new. What this is doing now is creating a brand new contact inside of Evo. So you'll plug in the contact email, the phone number. You're going to say on which pipeline should this deal card be created in. So maybe it's personal lines and I want to drop it in the quoting stage. I know some of you guys are using the rating system that Evo gives you all. The process for that is you would go to your rater, you plug in all the information for that customer. That customer's contact is created inside of Evo because you're using the rater. The rater sends data to Evo. Evo will send data to InsuredMine. And most of the time, if you're quoting them on the phone, they will skip the first few stages because you gave them the quote while you were on the phone with them. So you can decide, I'm going to skip these two. I'm just going to drop the card in the quoting stage. Whatever stage the deal card hits, those are the automations that it will trigger if you want it to. So you have the ability to control again if you want it to start or not. You'll select the deal category. So this is the line of business. So maybe we'll just select some things. You can select multiple. Lead source is how did they hear about you? This is how you can figure out where most of your business is coming from. So you can have categories and then you have subcategories. So it could be a referral and then who was the referral person. Expected closing date. So this is the predicted effective date of the policy you're trying to get with them. And then you'll click save. So now I just created a deal card on my personal lines pipeline in my quoting stage right here. Damon, lead source categories are not pulled from Evo. What was the area she clicked right now? Roger, so to get there, I opened the deal card. So if I click the Montserrat Soto, the deal card will open up. Then here you have the premium, the quotes information. You can move the deal card down your pipeline from inside. You can add notes. Any email that you've sent back and forth with the customer will be inside of that deal card, and you can take that deal card and move it down to policy issuance. If you win the deal card, if you win the deal with the customer, you'll mark 1. You'll say which quote did you win? So let's say I won cyber liability. You'll say what's the one date, who gets credit. If you select more options, this is where you can update the carrier, the premium amount, and the revenue is your commission. You do not need to enter in the policy, the expiration effective policy term. You don't need to plug that in because Evo will automatically download that. But in order to pull reports on, what percentage of your new business is with Progressive, you'd want to select the carrier. Let's say you win a deal, you lose a deal. You'll mark the deal card lost. You'll select the lost reason. So this is what you create. So maybe Joe is losing all of his deals. And the reason he's losing his deals is he took too long to quote. All right. So you'll just have drop-down options that they can select. Then you can reset the X date. So you can have marketing campaigns triggering out to the customer based upon their predicted expiration date of the policy you would have had with them. So you can tell the system to remind me of this customer 45 days before that policy is going to expire. And then you can also tell the system to reopen the deal card if you want. Any questions on deal cards, working them, moving them? Categories will sync with Evo, so you don't need to add those in. Yes, Jason, this will end at 1:30. Excuse me. Okay. Last piece is automation. So to access automation, you'll click the big 3 dots in the far right, and you'll select automation. Here, again, the pipelines that you were given, they're pre-built, so you'll see some of these sequins already. It'll give you a general idea of what you can do. You can edit the individual automation by clicking the pencil, or if you just want to delete all of them and start from scratch, you can click the big trash can. I advise creating your own pipeline first before deleting the preset templated pipelines. You can deactivate the pipelines, so automations won't be triggering out while you build. When you are ready to activate the automations, you'll click activate. To add automations, you'll click add new automation stage, and then it's going to bring you to this screen here. All automations are triggered off of time. We cannot control how a customer responds. So you can't say if a customer responds, I want to send this particular message back. We can't control that. We can only control how things are triggered from our system, and that's on time. So everything that you set is going to be time-based. So you can say, I want to send this after 20 days, after 5 days. I want to send this immediate. Here you have those tags, and then all the automation options up at the top. You can stack the automations just like we're looking at here. So in the lead stage, it has automations built out for 2 weeks. So if a deal card is sitting in this stage for more than 2 weeks, the deal card's automatically marked as lost and closed out. Anjanette, workflow chart. So there is, I'm going to show you the chart that we give you, but the chart, by the chart, you just mean how can you see the flow of what's happening? Yeah. So the best way to do it is just to go into the system and explore what's happening. So on this far left, you have the stages. So when they're in the lead in stage, you'll click lead, and then you can see what's happening in the time sequence. Then if you take the deal card and you move it to info gather prospect, a task is assigned 2 days later. If I take the deal card and move it to quoting, a text is sent immediately and an email is sent immediately. You can trigger automations based upon the stage a deal card is in. You also can trigger based upon whether you mark the deal card won and whether you mark the deal card lost. So if I mark the deal card won, I want to send, I want to trigger, congrats on your new policy. If I mark the deal card lost, I want to send, we're sad to see you go, but no matter what, we're here if you need us. You can have automations based upon label, which Damon Cook will go a little bit more in depth on that. So by adding a label, it can trigger messages or tasks or checklists or voicemail drops. You can do based upon category. So if I create a deal card under liability, I want to add a liability checklist. And then you can do it based upon lead source. So all leads that come from a mortgage lender that you're working with, you might want to send a personalized email about that. So that's pipeline. You have all the different pipeline options. On your pipeline, you have deal cards. The deal cards will move from one stage to the next. To create deal cards, you'll click Add Deal. All the contacts that you have inside of Evo will show up here, or you can create a contact from scratch. Inside of the deal card, you have your premium, all the quote information, all the notes that you have with that customer. Any email that you send will show up here. All this information, all the activities will transfer into Evo. So it'll document on this particular day a task for this was created. On this day, an email was sent. On this day, you called, and here's the call recording. All right, any questions so far on pipeline? I'm going to stop sharing. Damon, if a deal card is automatically marked as lost, can we change it back to active? Yes, you can. You can. So if you mark a deal card lost, let me show you. So I'm going to mark this as lost. You can reopen the card if they come back. And when you reopen, you just toggle them back to open. And now it's open again. Okay. Any other questions? Did I miss anything? How do I change the caller ID number? Caller ID number for Twilio, Curtis? Yes, we will have a break before Damon presents. So the caller ID with Twilio, I don't think it'll just say like your branch name. It's not going to say like Curtis Castor. Okay. Yeah, so we're going to take, excuse me, a 15-minute break. So we'll circle back here. You guys can still drop questions in the chat. Montserrat's still sending out your passwords, but we'll meet back here at 12. We'll do a little bit longer. We'll meet back at 12:30.
Okay, guys, so it's time to present Damon Cook. As Kiara said, Damon Cook started using InsuredMine before TWFG partnership with InsuredMine. So Damon is going to show us his renewal process and the forms, how InsuredMine has been helping him to create the process, and also how he's using the forms. In the
Okay. Do you want me to go ahead and share my screen?
Yes, please, Damon. Can you share your
All right.
screen?
That's okay. This screen right here.
No, it's up to you.
Is it sharing it?
Yes, we can see your screen, Damon.
Okay, so I'm probably a smaller agency than most of you guys out there, but, and I know the presentation's been it's kind of overwhelming, but once you get into it and you kind of get used to it, it's pretty easy. What I'm using it for is basically my renewals, just to save me a little bit of time on that. And I'm using it more of a defensive type of deal where, I mean, just on the renewals. So here's my pipeline that I'm using right now. And so what happens on my pipeline is 50 days before a renewal comes out, a deal card is created automatically. When that deal card is created, I go in and look to see if I have any duplicate deal cards out there, because I don't want them to get in the same automations that are going on. And the only reason why I would create a duplicate one would be, let's say their home renews on December 25th and their car renews on December 26th. Well, it sees that it's two different things. If they were the exact same date, it would create one deal card. But since it's two different dates, it creates two different deal cards. So when I walk in here in the morning, I'll look and say, okay, I would look at this individual right here, see if they have a duplicate. So I would go over here. It's pretty simple. You just go to, it'll let me type it in there. It's going to look for it. Nope, it's only got, there's only one there. If there was another one, I could click on that one. And let's say that one right there. And I could merge those together. And they would ask me which one I would merge it to. And I would put it over here. The reason why I am doing that is because Got kind of a lag there. And because once the deal card goes into this first 50 days before it renews, 5 days later, it's going to move over into this section right here, which is I send a letter out or an email out 45 days before it renews, just saying, hey, your renewal's coming up. Be on the lookout for it. The only reason why I did that was because I would get calls 35 days, whatever, and hey, my renewal came out, and now, you know, having to track their stuff down, and they want to talk about it right then. I'm just saying, hey, here, you got your renewal coming out in 45 days. I'll be getting back with you in 15 days or so. And then once that first email goes out, 15 days later, I've got another email that goes out that says, hey, your renewal's coming up in about 30 days. I'll be looking at it, and I'll get back with you. I'll show you the emails that go out in that. So where is it at? 45 days. Okay, so immediately creates a deal card for me. The first email, or no, as soon as it moves over to that first cycle, so when it went from the 50 days to the 45 to 30, this email right here goes out, and it tells them it's renewing 45 days. 14 days later, this one goes out and says, hey, it's coming up in 30 days. And I haven't even touched it yet, but I'm still contacting my clients. Once I have looked at the client, because we know if it goes up 20, 30%, and you can figure out whatever trigger you want, it moves over and it automatically moves over into here. And these are all the ones I really look at for the day. But let's say, for example, if this one right here comes in and I look at the renewals and it went up, let's say $500. Well, you know that client's going to be griping and complaining. So at that point, all I do is I come over here to this, and they're going to want me to shop it. So before they even call and say, hey, my rates are going up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at it and say, okay, do I need to renew this? Do I need to look at a different carrier and everything along those lines? So once I have looked at it and said, okay, rates went up. Do I need to stay here? Do I need to stay here or go somewhere else? So if I decided that I want to go with another place, I click on remarketed. So let's say they were travelers and it went up too much, but Safeco has better rates. I would click on remarket. They would get a voicemail from me saying, hey, this is Damon, just looked over your renewals. Man, it looks like we have some better options this year. Give me a call back at your convenience. An hour later after that, it turns around and it will email them saying, hey, I just left you a message about your renewals. It looks like we have some better options. Here, why don't you set something up on my calendar and let's go over it. That's typically when they start booking stuff on my calendar versus calling me. And then if they haven't done that, they'll get a text, I think 14 days after that, or not 14 days, they'll get a text 14 days from the beginning, and then they'll get another text on that one. But if the rates went up or if they went down, I click on this right here. Hey, we're going to stay, but the rates are up a little bit. Once again, it'll drop them a voicemail, then it'll send them an email, and it'll send them a text. Let's go back over to the automation, and I'll show you what those are in the automation system. But once you figure out how to set it up, it's pretty simple. It's really not that difficult, and it's not that difficult to change it either.
So Damon, before you go to the automations, how do you start your process? What makes you decide InsuredMine and start building your process, your renewal process?
Oh, why did I choose InsuredMine and start working on this process? Well,
yes.
So it's just me in the office. Okay, so I don't have a lot of time to work with my renewals, but I do want to stay in contact with them and stay pretty personal with them. I want to focus more on my sales side of it. and I haven't built that pipeline yet, but I'm going to. So the only reason why I chose InsuredMine was I got an email from them and looked at it and went, let's see if this works. Man, they have been so easy to work with. The both of you, Kira and Masorda, you guys have been great to work with, really have been. But the only reason why I went with the renewal process first was keeping my clients. That's it. Does that kind of answer the question you're looking for there?
Yes, totally.
All right.
Yes, this is to give an overview to the other agents that they are here in this training to understand that you were the first TWFG agent that start using InsuredMine, and that you come with InsuredMine with one goal, as you said, no? Reduce time.
Right.
You are the only person that in your agency, so you want to have a better process with your renewals. And InsuredMine has been helping you to renew your policies or your clients on time with all this process that you and the team work with you to build it.
Right. It has, because I don't have to call them and say, hey, give me a call back. I looked at your renewal, or here, do this right here. A client can't say, you didn't get in contact with me. I can look on there I can even look on there to see if they even opened the email that I sent to them, which is a huge process when they go, well, you didn't well, yeah, I did. If something renewed there. It's been a really, really, really good tool to use. Do you want to go back over and explain to him why I tagged it like that, Masorda?
No.
Okay. So on that tag, once I figured out what I want to do with my client, if I want to stay with the current carrier, but the rates went up, or stay with the carrier, but the rates went down, or I remarketed it and we got somewhere else to go, that's where I set it up over here in the automation system. Let's go with remarketed. So once I click on that, it sends them this voicemail right here. And then, like I said, an hour later, they get this email right here saying, hey, just left you a message. And then 7 days from when I started it, they get then they get a text from me. And then what is it? 14 days from the very beginning. So 7 days after this text, they would get another voicemail from me. And then after that, if I haven't heard from them, it assigns a task to me saying, hey, this is what's going on. I can either reach out to them or not, because when those clients are going to renew or they're not going to renew if they haven't talked to you or whatever. But that's pretty much what I'll do on that right there. And on the renewals, it's that simple.
Okay, give me some time. We have two questions.
Sure, go ahead.
Roger. So Roger is asking for how long you have been using InsuredMine. If I'm not wrong, you have been using InsuredMine for almost 1 year?
Just about. I started about a year ago, but I probably didn't get my pipeline set up probably till about the 1st of February.
Yeah. Yeah, in February, you build your process with Kiara. Kiara worked with you, and then you were in IMO.
Yes.
Helping us as a speaker, sharing your process. That one thing that all of you have to know, it's the renewal process or renewal pipeline that Damon has with InsuredMine, or that Damon built here. Most of the agencies or other agencies that we're working with, they are using Damon as a template to build also their process. Small agencies and bigger agencies. And what phone system does you use, Damon?
I'm sorry, what?
Are you with the phone system? Are you with Julio or with Ring Central?
I'm with Ring Central.
Ring Central, yeah. And Stephanie is asking, what reports in Evo are you pulling from InsuredMine for renewals? Stephanie, at this moment, Damon it's paying his subscription or his access to InsuredMine before TWFG agents decide to purchase InsuredMine for all of you. So Damon, today we were reviewing his data, so we are expecting that Damon also migrates this data that he has with InsuredMine to TWFG portal.
Yeah, I'm hoping that's going to help my process out even that much more, because none of my stuff was going back and forth. I was having to input it in two different places.
Yeah, so Stephanie, once integration happens, all of your policies are automatically inside of InsuredMine, and you tell the system to create the deal cards a certain number of days prior to the policy expiring. So the reports that are in Evo, it's just policy data, and InsuredMine reads the expiration date of all policies, and it's automatically loading it in. You're welcome. How do we model what's going on? So when you're setting up your account, there's a whole webinar over Damon and his renewal process. So you can take that webinar and set it up exactly how he has it set up. The different platforms that he uses Slide Broadcast for the voicemail drop. So if you want to use that, you'll have to get a membership with them. We do have a promo code. It's 100 free, and it gives you 100 free voicemails. So that can get you started. But you can, and I'm sure Damon doesn't mind. I don't want to speak for you, Damon, but he's spoke at multiple of our webinars or iMug, so he can share resources with you all, or we can share what we have from him.
You guys can call me or email me too if you'd like. I mean, I have no problem helping anybody on what I do. All I ask in return is if you figure something out better, let me know. But yeah. The Slide bot, when it leaves a voicemail, it's really cheap. I want to say it's like 2 cents or 3 cents a voicemail or something. It's nothing. It's worth every penny. You can buy a package for, I think it's like $50 or something like that, and you get a bunch of them. I think it's like 2,000 or something. I'm not sure exactly what it is.
Perfect. Damon, was there anything else you wanted to share? Have we done forms?
No, we haven't done forms. You want me to do forms?
Yeah, just show like what you've built out in the system and how you're using it. Any information.
Okay. That's fine. So, because to create a deal card, you got to go in there and put all the information into it. Create a new form, do whatever. Well, okay. So what I was doing is I created this form right here. And I'm actually going to, is it Zapier or whatever? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, Zapier. I've got it to where this will actually merge over to Easy Links. I'm getting ready to do that, but I don't know if I need to now that TWFG just came out with their rater. But if I don't have time to visit with somebody, or they go, can you just send me something to fill out, or what do you want me to send to you? I'll have them fill out this form right here. And so it's, just their general information, first name, last name, date of birth. If they're married, what it'll do is it'll now ask for their spouse's information. And then it comes through and says, okay, do you have any kids in the house? Yep. Okay, well, then it asks for the kids right here. And then it comes down here and asks them, okay, what do you want to quote? So if they want to quote the house, well, there you go. Then I ask them all the information about the house. Now I've got all that information for next year, but once again, with the TWFG's rating system, it's in the system now. But it asks you everything that I'm going to ask anyways. And then if I want to do a car as well, it puts the car in there and asks them all the information about the cars. That makes it pretty easy because now I've got everything, and I haven't done anything. If I can either email that to them and they fill the form out,
And I'll ask my clients, I'm like, do you want to fill it out yourself or do you want me to go over the questions with you right now? And it's probably about 50% of them just say, oh, just send it to me. I'll do it I'll do it tonight. And so once they do that, it'll create a deal card for me to let me know that I have a new lead in the system. So I do that. And then another one that I use is my endorsement form. When somebody calls in and goes, hey, can we add a car? Can we do this right here or that? For me, for my E&O, just so I have it on file, I know exactly what it is. I just say, fill this form out and we can do it. Or I can do it. So they just put in their name, first and last name, date of birth, email. That way I can send them that it's been done, the effective date of the change. And now I've got it in writing as well. You're going to replace a car. Okay, so which car are we replacing? Which car are we adding? And do we have a loan on the car? If they say yes, put in your information right there. When they submit it, I get a deal card. It goes into my task for the day. And it's just one more thing that I've got to do that day. I've got one for the home, the auto, and so on and so on. If you want to remove a car, if you want to add a driver, along those lines right there. But that's on the forms that I have.
Okay, Damon, give me a second. I'm going to request remote control.
Sure.
To explain more about the forms and answer the questions that we have here.
Okay.
Okay, Malu, she's asking about if you create the form by yourself or InsuredMine created for you.
I had InsuredMine created for me. I told them what I wanted, and we probably went back and forth. No, probably 3 or 4 times, and then the little small things that needed to be corrected, I figured out how to do it myself. And it's not really hard to do it, but like for a pop out or for that right there, I don't know how to do any of that stuff. So I just paid to do it, and it's very reasonable on the price, and they got it right.
Yes, that's right. So Damon purchased professional services. So in professional services, we have different package, and as Damon said, he wanted that we create forms for him. So he gave us all the template and we built it, and the minimum things that he wanted to update or change, he will be able to do it. Damon Castillo, Zapier, it's integrated with InsuredMine, yes. So here it's 2 different things with Zapier and these forms. The forms that you have here at InsuredMine or the forms that Damon it's showing you, it's completely different with Zapier. In Zapier, it's going to connect to bring your leads. Let's say that you have your Facebook page. So it's going to help you to bring your Facebook page, or I mean your Facebook leads that you have in this site, because Facebook it's not connected directly with InsuredMine. The difference between this form is that this form it's linked with InsuredMine. So every time that you share the link with any of your clients, this form it's going to be updated here at InsuredMine, and you are going to be able to select what do you want that this form do for you. So in order to do that, you have the form automation, and the form automation is going to ask you what do I want to have. If I want that every time that they fill this form, they create me a deal card in which pipeline, or I want to have a contact update. Every time that they fill the form, it's going to update the contact, or if they fill the form, they are going to create a contact here in InsuredMine. You cannot have the deal card and the create contact enabled. It has to be one of the other, because when it creates you a deal card, it's also going to create you a contact.
That way you
yes,
don't have
the forms,
duplicates.
exactly, and you don't have duplicates. Okay, the form this way and how. Yes, Roger, you can embed these forms in your website. So here you have website gadgets in forms. So you can select a custom form and it's going to create you the code and you can copy and paste the code in your website. Other way that you can select the different gadgets or forms that we have. It's here you go to settings, then you go to website gadgets. And here in website gadgets, we give to you these pre-building forms. So let's say personal and commercial. Let's click in property, generate a link, and it's going to generate you a link. And this link you can copy and paste in your website. But if you want to have a specifically form that you already built, you are going to be able to select the form. It's going to be custom form and it's going to be the same. Select the form and generate the code. Yes, Jody, the forms you can share inside of your platform. You cannot share outside of your platform. Let's say if Damon want to share with you the form in your platform, it's not going to be possible. InsuredMine have to do it backend. But let's say that Damon have 5 more agents, he is going to be able to share the form with his agents. Yes, Malo, you can send me the form that you want and we can build it for you. The client or the prospect receive the forms. And can you refresh your page, Damon, please?
Yeah, here.
I don't know why.
Let me close out of this one here real quick, and I'll just close out of everything. And
Upendra, yes, you can't only send a message to support chat and tell them that you only want to have the number for texting, and you are not going to have any bill for that. It's going to be free, and they are going to give you the number. Okay, Damon Clifton, it's asking you what type of success are you having with the customer filling out the form?
Well, I would say 100% of the ones that I because what I'm doing is I'm having them fill it out. Like if they call in and I go, okay, hey, I've got a client in my office right now, or this right here, I can either send you a form to fill out and they'll say, yeah, go ahead and send me the form and I'll fill it out. So right now, I'm just using that form either when I say, hey, can I send it to you? And they say yes, or hey, is there something I can fill out? I haven't marketed it anywhere yet because I'm just now kind of finishing up, getting it kind of the way I want it, 100%, 100%.
Exactly. So what is happening also that other agents are doing is they are sharing the form with their clients, or also the agents open the form and then fill the form and submit the form. So it's 2 ways that they can do: share the form with the clients or fill the form by yourself. If you want to share the form by yourself, give me a second. I have a lot of noise here.
Was that a question to me?
No, it's to me. I'm moving because where I have a lot of noise. I think it's better. Okay, so answering the questions, you have 2 ways to fill the form. One is by yourself. So you open the link, and you fill the form, and then you submit the form. And you are going to be able to see here in InsuredMine that you submit the form. The other one is here. It's click here in send, and you can send the email or the text message to your client. And this is going to be the link. So they are going to receive the form. And you can type the number and submit. No, Malu, this form doesn't have any password. This is a unique link for your clients, and the only way that you can be secure that they are not going to have any problems with it's because it's a unique link and you are going to be the only one that is sharing that link with them. No, Jody, these forms at this moment, it's not going to populate in the numerator in Evo. No, it's only show inside of InsuredMine, Jody. So if you fill out the form, it's only going to show you here in InsuredMine. So we can see that here in Damon, he has this form already filled out. So he has 3 responses. So you can view the form and view who responds. You can view the form again. So to see what do they respond, and then you can download the form as a PDF. Here, download PDF. I'm going to close this, so you can download it as a PDF, and you can be able to save this file in the account or in the Contact 360, and as Kiara said previous, the files can be shown in Evo as a PDF. No, Damon, the form, it's not going to show in your diaries in Evo.
So Damon, if you attach the file to a deal card or in the contact view, the file will transfer into the Evo diary. That it has come back complete. So Jody, Evo, Outlook, and IM, if it goes out as an email, then how are we notified it has come back completed? You'll get an email notification saying it's been completed. You can also have a setting to where you just send the link to the form out to everybody. And then once it's completed, it'll automatically create a deal card on a pipeline if that's what you'd like. If it's like a new customer. You also can set up, Monserrat, are you controlling the screen or is Damon?
It's me.
Can you show the form automations?
Yes.
So in the form automations, you can set like email notifications. You can notify multiple people. You can also have the forms like route the customer to a website, or you can route them. You can send an email automatically back to them. So there's different automations that can happen once the form has been completed. As far as your active workflow, a lot of places to be at once. Yeah, it is. It's just a lot of different tabs open, which is what you currently are doing anyway. It's just how can you consolidate some of those tabs? So I would say about 80% of your workday would be spent inside of InsuredMine. Your Outlook is inside of InsuredMine as well. Monserrat, can you show just the work email? So your work email is connected to, so you can manage your emails from inside here. And then we don't want to show Damon's email though. We click out again. So that kind of takes care of the Outlook. So it's just Evo and IM. Those are kind of the main ones.
That's right.
Any other questions about Damon's process or forms? We have about 20 minutes left. No? Okay. I think that's it. Damon, was there anything else you wanted to share before we jump into reports?
No. That's, I mean, if anybody has any questions, they can either email me or call me. That's fine. Happy to help anybody I can.
Perfect. Thank you, Damon.
You betcha.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen now. So the last segment that we're going to talk about for the next 15 minutes is the reporting features inside of InsuredMine. Are you guys able to see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, let me get rid of the toolbar. So multiple places to pull reports. We're first going to start off in dashboard. So like I said earlier, your agency dashboard is your Evo data. So it just takes all of the Evo data that you have and it converts it into pretty charts, and it just makes it a little bit more visible for you to understand your book of business. So it'll show you by month which number of policies you have expiring. It'll show you what percentage of all your business is a certain line of coverage, which carriers you're with. Down here, this is important. When you first come to training, I point this out, or whoever is your trainer will point this out, the context missing details. If you want to trigger automations in the system, you first have to make sure you have emails. If you want to trigger happy birthday automations, make sure you have dates of birth. So you can see where the gaps are in your data by the grouping of your customers. If you click the percentage, so if I click contacts missing details, it'll pull up all of those contacts that are missing. So that's the dashboard. You can scroll down. There's a bunch more widgets that you can see. The next dashboard that we have is our sales dashboard. The sales dashboard is all of your new business reporting. All data that is populated on the sales dashboard comes directly from Pipeline Manager. So as you're creating those deal cards, you're adding in the quote amount, you're adding in the premium, the carrier, you're marking them won and lost. It's gathering data and it's populating it into the sales dashboard. So you can see how many deals have been lost by agents, how many have been won. You can see where they are in comparison to your goals once they've been set up. You can see how many deals are with certain carriers that you've quoted them with. You can see your quote to close ratio. So for every, let's say you have a 50% quote to close ratio, that means if you want to double your business, you need to either double the amount of leads or better close deals. So by gathering the reports, you kind of have a metric of where to start and how to grow. I mentioned when you mark deal cards lost, you mark the lost deal reason. So the benefit of that is you have reporting on that lost deal reason. Why are you losing most of your deals? Is it because customers ghost you? If they ghost, what are the reasons for ghosting? Is it because the response time is it's too slow, or maybe it's premium too high? And so then you build marketing campaigns around how agents don't control premium. So maybe it's education that should be the marketing rather than pushing homeowners. So all of that is populated just by completing deal cards. You have the activity dashboard. This is great for your daily workflow. So while you're working deals in pipeline, you're adding tasks for yourself. Call this person. I need to follow up with this customer in 5 days. So you can go to your activity dashboard and look at your task list for the day. You can see what calendar events you have scheduled, and then you can see what you've completed for the day. So how many files have you uploaded? How many emails have you sent? All of this. And then up here, you have to-dos. This is your personal to-do list. So if you have, I need to pay this phone bill and I need to pick up the kids from school at 3 o'clock, you can just add these internal, like your personal to-dos up at the top here. Then you have your marketing dashboard. We'll spend a lot more time on this in January, but if you build your own marketing campaign, you can see what is set up to trigger. So before it is triggered, you can see when will it trigger. So anything that's scheduled, you can see what has already been sent. You can see campaign live feed. So let's say you've triggered a campaign and you want to see active reporting on how many people have opened, clicked it. All of that you can see under the marketing dashboard. Any questions about dashboard? Malou, yes. So there's two different InsuredMine apps. You have the agent app and then you have the customer app. The agent app, you can manage your pipeline. You can look up your contacts. You can send quotes out. From the customer app, the customer can see all of their policies. We tell them that InsuredMine app is kind of like their insurance briefcase, so they don't have to just upload policies associated with you. It's just a one-stop shop for all of their documents. Stephanie, we have not set a date in DFW. We're scouting out locations for that. There's a lot of you. I think there's over 200 agents in the DFW area. So we need a nice venue. Reed, do we have a standard operational procedure for marketing new quotes? We do have processes that are built, and that's what's preset into your account under the pipeline. You will have to decide, if you're using the rating system, does it make sense for you to just enter information into the rater and start there and then create deal cards only in the quote sent stage or quoting stage? For renewals, it's going to depend on how far in advance you want to reach out to your customers. So, you will work with your trainer to set up the best process for your branch. Jody Monzer, can you double check? Jody, can you drop your email in the chat? So to share links with your customers for the app. So up at the top, there's multiple ways to do it, but your TWFG email. Oh, you have 4 times. So up at the top, Malou, you'll click the plus and it says send app download link. Then you're going to type your customer's name. You'll select the customer, and then it's going to I don't have my email and everything in here. It's going to pre-populate the email and the phone, and you can send it to them. Okay, the next reporting tab that we have is the policy section. Throughout each one of these lists, so whether you're in accounts, policies, or contacts, you have the filter option. So you can filter all of your policies by these different categories. And then you can always download. So you'll click the big 3 dots and download. Throughout InsuredMine, you're going to see 3 dots everywhere. When in doubt, find 3 dots and just click there. There's a feature. So if you're on something, you're like, I want to know what this module can do, just click the 3 dots. Here's 3 dots here. Just click the 3 dots and it'll tell you what you can do. Same thing for contacts. If you want to pull a report on all of your contacts, you can filter by state, you can filter by gender, you can filter by when the contact was created, their lead source. So you'll filter and then you click the 3 dots and download. Or you can save it as a report. If a report has been saved, you can schedule the report to automatically be sent to you. Next, we have our opportunities tab. The opportunities tab is just a place to find information quickly. So it groups it by 30 days. So if you want to see what renewals are happening in the next 30 days by agent, you can see that here. You can change the grouping. So you want to see in the next 30 days, which carrier has most renewals happening. You can do it by line of business. So in the next 30 days, they have 161 auto policies that are expiring. X dates. So X dates are predicted expiration dates of policies. X dates are for prospects. So you can run a report on which accounts have X dates that are approaching. You can see your cross-sell opportunities. So Casey has 224 cross-sell opportunities from his policies that he has. Again, you can group it by agents, carriers, or category. And then monoline. Monoline means customers that only have one line of business with you. So Casey has 91 customers that only have one line of business policy with them. So these are good cross-sell or upsell, whichever way you want to, probably cross-sell opportunities that you can do. Okay. And then the last one is our reports module. So the reports module, based upon your access, whether you're agent or admin, will determine the data that you see. So Casey is an admin at Gordy's branch, so he can see all agents' data. But if he flips to agent view, he will only see his data. Okay. From here, you can click the number of policies, and then you can add filters to that segment of policies. So you can do it by line of business, by the status, carriers, states, dates, all of that. You can save reports. So once you've saved a report, just kicked me out. Switch to admin view. Let's do a smaller round. So we can save that report. Why is it doing that? Montserrat, can you put a ticket in for that?
Yes.
I'm just going to go to the saved report section. So all reports that you save will be here. Once you've saved a report, you can schedule the report to be sent to you. So let's say you want that report to go to you every month. You can create the parameters around that and then schedule it to send. Under performance, once your data has fully been integrated, you're able to see how your agency is doing as a whole. So performance meaning how many active accounts. If you've increased, it'll show you a green arrow. If you've decreased, it'll show you a red arrow. So it'll do that by accounts, so number of customers, and then by the amount of premium you have. We also have the activity report. So by activity report, it's going to group it by activities for all agents. So you can see who's the one who's completing the most tasks, who's sending the most e-signature documents, who's attaching more files, and you can set the time frame. So this is great if you have virtual assistants or a CSR and you're trying to keep track of, or an intern, you're trying to keep track of what they're doing. There's more analytics and reporting once we get to the engagement, so the marketing section. Every time you send a campaign, you can see some analytics from those campaigns. So here's some ones that we've sent out to you all. You can see who's opened it, who's clicked it, what percentage were bounced back. So in the email we sent to all of you to complete the training survey, 22% of you guys opened it. I can click this here and I can download a report of who clicked the email. And then here it'll tell me what was clicked. So some people clicked to sign up for the training session in January. Other people clicked to complete the survey. So all this you can see based upon using our marketing feature. We also have some marketing automations. So automations are preset processes or preset emails that will be sent out. It can be an email, it can be a text message, or it can be a task. So you can automate sending happy birthday messages. You can automate sending welcome packets out to new clients. You can automate cross-selling campaigns. So these are, we'll go into depth in this in January. But I do want to show that these are all the automation options for marketing. We have templates, so you can build templates for your branch. And they can be personalized to whatever you'd like. And then we also have email template builder. So if we go to email template builder, if we select choose template in the far right or the far left, you have all of these preset templates that you can pick from. So I always say, pick your bones and edit your meat. The holidays is coming up, so you can go ahead and send your Christmas campaigns. We have some in English, we have some in Spanish. And we're adding 2 more or 3 more to the system this week. So 3 more different Christmas holiday campaigns if you'd like. There's Hanukkah, whatever you'd like. We have office closure. All holidays you'll have access to. We have office closure emails. And then we have newsletter templates that you can customize. Are all email campaigns preloaded in? The only preloaded ones that we give you are the automations. All of these will come with templates that you can look at and you can edit. So the welcome client, they all come with preset ones, but if you want to customize it to make it more branded to your agency, you can. With your trainer, they'll ask you for a marketing wish list. We do have a form we can send you to help give you an idea of all the different types of campaigns that you can build inside of InsuredMine. But just coming to the meeting and saying, I want to do a monthly newsletter. I want to cross-sell home and no auto. I want to market to my customers that are 64, countdown to Medicare. So you just tell us what you want, and then we help you build that. These templates under engagement are not yet available. Which templates, Malu? So all of your accounts will come with this agency folder. These are all of InsuredMine's preset templates that you will have. I think your marketing team is working to build some TWFG templates to give to you all. So that should be happening by January too. And we can explore more of this marketing piece in January. Yeah. Some of those templates that you might be referring to are these templates here, an email template builder. Everyone gets access to this, anyone who uses InsuredMine. So you can select a newsletter and then you can edit what it says by just double clicking. You can change pictures to whatever you'd like it to be. Yeah. The templates and graphics. So you'll go to engagement, click email template builder. And then on the far left, you have choose template in the top. So select there. Some of these graphics, so they're just pictures. So if you double click, I want to change this image. I've already added in some images in Casey's account. So you can just drag and drop your images in here. Yes, there's a separate training for marketing. That's a whole nother. The top modules are sales pipeline. So we wanted to spend a few hours on sales pipeline and renewal. And then in January, we're going to have one session over the marketing piece, different marketing strategies, how different marketing companies, or what is the one I'm thinking? Total Edge Marketing. That's a popular one that we work with. How Total Edge Marketing has used InsuredMine for their marketing. So we'll have those webinars on January 10th and 12th. And those will be shorter because the marketing isn't as deep as sales pipeline. So those will probably only be maybe 2 or 3 hours instead of 4. Probably 2 hours, closer to 2 hours. And we'll probably take a 10-minute break in between. Yes, and Jeanette, that's the session. Yes, Damon, you can send automated emails and you can customize them too because you have tags. So I can sit here, I can select a template. Let me see if I can just pull 65th birthday. And you have these tags here. So the tags will say, Dear Montserrat, hooray, you're 65. Okay. So that is it for today. If you guys have any additional questions, we'll stay on for the next 5 minutes or so. But if not, we'll see you in January in the new year to go over marketing. In the chat, Montserrat is going to drop the survey link. If you guys can fill that out, we want to make sure that we're using your time wisely.
Thank you, guys. I'm going to finish the session. Thank you, Kiara. Thank you, Damon.
Bye, guys.